Hello everyone, welcome to FedScoop TV. My name is Greg Otto and we're here at the 2016 Red Hat Government Symposium. And I'm talking with Coby Holloway, the VP of Cloud Services for SAIC. Coby, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
So with Red Hat being open source, obviously we're going to talk about open source today.
Love it.
The federal government has made a lot of strides in this administration with open source. How have you seen that progress sort of unfold, and where do you see it moving in the next administration?
Oh, absolutely. So I think the biggest change we've seen in the last 8 years is we've gone from talking about open source a lot to how do we implement open source.
Okay.
So our customers are looking to us as systems integrators to take the engineering work that we do traditionally, apply that to open source technologies, and bring those into their environments.
Okay.
We're now on the second open government
Right.
movement, so we've got that national action plan has been refreshed this cycle, so that shows firm commitment. The DoD has been very aggressive about educating all the leadership in the IT space, the DoD, on what is open source, what is not. How freeware, shareware is not open source, and you can't use that stuff, but open source is not that. You really can use open source, and we want you to.
Right.
So I think it's been incredible, and I think we're going to see a lot more adoption of that in the coming years.
So cybersecurity is so top of mind for federal agencies. How do you see open source benefiting that mission?
So there's good things from a cyber perspective about open source, and then there's things that make people a little uncomfortable.
Sure.
Right. So the good things are transparency of the code base.
Right.
Right. So you can do deep code inspection. You can really look under the hood and see what's going on and know. So the good things are the crowdsourcing of security. Right. You've got a whole community of people looking and actively working to enhance the code base from a security perspective. For SAIC, it's all about rigorous and consistent adoption against a cyber framework, right? So whatever the tool is, whether it's open source or other, we go through a very rigorous process of assessing that, making sure it fits into their space. And I think as long as you apply that type of rigor to an open source platform, take advantage of the things you can take advantage of about open source, you're going to be in good shape.
So IT modernization, also a big topic in federal agencies. How does open source help federal agencies move away from legacy IT?
Yeah, so a couple of things I think are really important to apply open source to digital transformation, right? So one is the Open Digital Services movement.
Right.
So that's a big initiative across the whole federal landscape, and obviously that requires open source, the whole community, and the nature of open source software itself is very complementary to a transformational activity in an organization. So you take any given agency, especially the bigger ones, Social Security Administration, DHS, pick one, right? They have a lot of complex legacy applications that need to be modernized. So the flexibility and the reusability and the updating and ownership options you have with open source, those are perfect for transforming a legacy application that so many of our customers have. We actually have an entire practice around legacy modernization, application migration.
Okay.
We offer that as a service specifically to help them transform, and open source is a big part of how we do that.
So what else is open source helping federal agencies with? Is it erasing stovepipes? Is it mobility? Is it speed to getting product out? Is it all of the above? Like, where are the strengths of what open source can offer the federal government?
Well, I think all those things are definitely spaces where open source can help. Okay. One of the places we're putting a lot of emphasis right now is how open source applies to Internet of Things.
Okay.
So, that obviously is a huge growth area and a huge area for development and understanding across the entire federal government. Trying to figure out what it is, how we use it, how do we adopt it, how do we adapt to it. The open source technologies, again, the reusability, the ability to take a code base, make your modifications, use it in a new way, leveraging the crowdsourcing community. Those are all the things that you need to create a base platform, a consistent platform across a variety of disparate systems, which is what is one of the biggest challenges of IoT. Right. So open source gives us the ability as a community to create consistent interactions between disparate interconnected devices. So I think that's a place where open source is going to apply. I think we'll see open source really being the fabric between the IoT devices.
Great. Appreciate your insight, Coby. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you very much.
For all of our videos, check out our YouTube channel, and for more information, check out fedscoop.com. I'm Greg Otto. Thanks for watching.